Trying to pull up some highlights.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast. This is podcast number 55. And a bit of a better one. It's going to be a weird one, to say the least. But anyways, let's get to the panel, starting off with Christian. Christian, how you doing, dude?
Doing all right, man. Feels good to get a win under our belt and a clean sheet, snap to not good streaks that we had going of not winning games and conceding goals. So, but one way or another, managed to accomplish that. Not really convincingly, but it feels good to at least get one back in the W column.
Yeah, that W does feel good. And we're also joined by Nando. Nando, how you doing, dude?
All right, man. I'm doing well. The key thing here is we finally saw a W again. So it wasn't pretty, but we saw a win again.
Yeah, for sure. And we didn't concede a goal either.
New coach in our hand.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, you cut off for me. I hope it was just for me then. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
All right, anyways, let's get to the first game that took place, which was the Taça da Liga match, I should say. Sorry. And this was our following 11. We had Luis Maximiliano making his debut, as well as Christian Borja, Thiago Ilotti, Luis Neto, Valentin Rosier making up our defense. We had a four-man midfield of Marcha Cunha and Hesse on the wings, Rodrigo Battaglia and Wendell in the middle, and a strike force of Vieto and Bruno Fernandes sort of acting as a second striker. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also see the Rio Ave 11 right there. They had Gabriel Zinho, Tarantini, but aside from that, it was mainly rotated players. Christian, I'll start off with you, dude. What were your thoughts of the game?
Yeah, it was just like a typical performance in this run of games that we had going for us there. Obviously we created more chances. We're the better team, but it was just like uninspiring. No one really stood out to me in particular. Bruno Fernandes, missed a lot of chances. Bruno Fernandes missed a couple chances that on another day I think he scores. And then we're just unlucky really to concede 2 goals. But this kind of performance and like just unable to get a result just sums up the short-lived Lionel Ponce era at Sporting.
What an era!
It was an era with three losses and a draw.
Yeah.
Did not win any games. So, let's hope the U23s keep winning because they've been on a hell of a run. I know he had a part in the beginning of that, but he left and they still kept doing the same thing. So.
Yeah.
I hope that isn't affected.
Though their goal margins are a lot smaller. At least in the beginning, they were killing teams, right? But,
yeah.
But yeah, he's going back to the under-23s, though, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so too. And good on Sporting for that. I'll pass it off to Nando. Nando, what are your thoughts of the game, dude?
So, from what I read, man, Christian kind of told me 3 losses and a draw under Ponce. And that game was a perfect, unfortunately, I hate saying perfect, but was the perfect cherry on top for just his last match there. Like Sporting just continued to play with no idea, very bunched up soccer, no fluidity, just nobody's really sure of what to do on the pitch, and we lost 2-1 at home, man. What I take most about that game, other than the fact that it was like finally, just the fact that we barely put anybody in that stadium. Now, mind you, that's a liga game. That's never going to pack the house out. But that just shows where, yeah, man. Those are horrible times, horrible tournament in general. Yeah. Nobody gives a damn about the Taça da Liga. Like we've won it, but whatever. But it just shows where the fans are and have been with the team. Like we've lost patience, we've lost energy, and for a Sporting fan to say they've lost energy, man, it takes a lot. So, in a way, if losing is what we needed to be fresh blood in, which is what we did, then good, whatever. But it really does put a final straw on Ponce's tenure. Just a bad overall. He just looked completely out of his league as a coach, at least for the Primera Liga.
Yeah, Agreed. I'm gonna just
his
hit on that.
formation sucked, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I hated that narrow 4-4-2, and I'm glad that it's gone. That's why the team sucked, and that formation did not get the best out of the little that we have. So I hated it, and I'm glad that we don't have to watch that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we played a narrow, like a 4-4-2 narrow when we have like at least 5-6 wingers.
Yeah,
that even that decision is just like mind blowing to me. And yeah, like Nando was saying, man, like way out of his league. The guy last year was coaching a fucking third division Spanish team, which I mean I think has done more like money laundering more than anything. With David Wang and other fucking deals what they've done with fucking Wolves. But more so than just that, man. Like we looked unorganized. We looked like there was nothing about us. No passing. No. Our defense was shambles. Like that first goal is so easily avoided. Borja doesn't even pressure the guy.
And Laurie doesn't step in at all.
At all. That second goal, we're all just scrambling, blocking the ball. Like they have like 3-4 opportunities to shoot on net, and one finally goes in. Like it's a joke. It was a joke, and I'm glad to see that era gone. Though in terms of this game, honestly, if we score one or two of those chances in our opening like 5 to 10 minutes, we would have been all right. I mean, I think so at least.
Yeah, we had 2 great chances right in the first 5 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, we could have at least been 2-3-0 up by the first 10 minutes, in my opinion, too. So. If we take some of those chances, maybe we're not as bad because even then, Rio Ave didn't create a lot of opportunities. They really, from what I remember of the game, they really only had 2-3 chances to score, and they scored 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So, that's another concern for mine on this team is there's no there's no end product. There's nobody really, maybe aside from Bruno Fernandes, I can confidently believe in their ability to score a goal. And I mean, you see that more on yesterday's game against Aves. Another thing that we've seen on this game was some fan outbreaks. Definitely some fighting amongst the stands. I don't know if you guys seen that the lady hit on the guy, and then the guy, trying to give the equality.
I did see that.
Wild. Anyways, what are your initial thoughts, Nando? I'll throw it off to you on our current moment as a fan base. I mean, we're obviously divided, right? So, what are your thoughts on that? And how do we get better?
I'll jump in and talk a little bit about that one, guys, because I've been kind of taking the lead a little bit on the whole, just kind of speaking out of frustration as a fan more so lately, but that shows everything that this fan base is going through, man. Like when you've got a guy ready to fight a woman having no qualms and hitting a dude's there with his younger brother. Everything that you don't want to see, right? And then on top of that, you've got it happening amongst our own fans, right? That's crazy. And then you've got a guy, I think I retweeted him earlier, Orlando 7 Gomes. But he basically kind of summed it up for me, and I've been kind of touching base on this a little bit for a while now. But like without justice, there's never going to be peace at Sporting, or it's going to be a long, long road for peace at Sporting. But what I mean by justice, I'm talking about how we've talked about this, how the current president came to be, how fans feel about the game. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the interview towards the end of this podcast, just so maybe a couple opinions of what we feel like that was like. But that's it, man. That summarizes where we're at. We're just a club divided, an angry club, and fan base that just can't stand each other's opinions. Like, it's okay to not agree, man, but we don't even respect each other's opinions. And that was it, man. You saw it right there.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with you. Really, another thing that also took place more onto the game was Battaglia's injury. Christian, I'll throw this one off to you. Is it management fault on his injury for sort of rushing him back and giving him back-to-back starts? Or just simply is Battaglia unlucky at the moment?
Yeah, I think he's definitely a bit unlucky, but before he played I guess the plan was probably for him to play close to most of the game, the first game that he played. against Famalicão. He played like 70, 75 minutes ish. And by the end of it, he looked like out of sorts. He looked like gassed. He looked like a guy that hadn't played in 10 or 11 months. So, yeah, I mean, I guess they wanted to get him in because it was a Taça da Liga game. Like, it's kind of a good opportunity to get your fitness up. Like, theoretically, it doesn't count as much as the other games. And I think he's just a bit unlucky, and I'm glad to see that, he shouldn't be out for too long.
Yeah, true. Do you know what injury he even sustained?
I think it's just like a bruise on his knee,
Oh, fair.
Ooh, he took a hard hit, but it's like if you get hit in the same ACL and like your knee hurts, like it's just like err on the side of caution.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. At least he didn't re-tear his shit up or even damage anything else.
Well, that's when if he came back too soon. If he immediately retore it, like, that'd be so fucked.
Yeah. Though, I mean, I do also think that Poncher's a little silly on one. Even against who was it that we lost to?
Famalicão. He shouldn't have played as long as he did.
Yeah, he didn't. I think he played until like the 80th minute or some shit.
Too long. Like, and he looked like he was
slowly exhausted.
losing it. He was losing it.
Yeah, he was. So yeah, agreed. But also, because we're just riddled in drama. And somebody doesn't know how to fucking give these kids a driver's license. We also had Jovan Cabral get arrested, I believe it was, for not having a license, and all of a sudden he's been out injured the last 2 games due to a quote unquote ankle injury. Nando, man, if you can, speak on I guess these players' attitudes and relate it to maybe even words that Bruno Fernandes was recorded saying, like what's your thoughts on this whole situation, dude?
Man, first off, the license situation, like, he should know better, but like, shit happens, like, the guy, he's young, shit. I've made it up the street before and realized that I turn around back around. Like, shit happens. Like, people need to get the fuck off of that. It happens. Now, what's more disturbing to me, to be quite honest with you, is the fact that the recording of the police officer or whoever, and I think it was you who retweeted it, right, or talked about it, but like that whole recording and just the kind of like the almost a humiliating way as to which he talks about Giovanni and how he's gonna like fuck him over, and like it's almost like he's enjoying it. You know what I mean? That's more disturbing than anything. And no one's really talked much about. Like, that recording not being leaked on intentionally. I don't know. Lately, he's been in the media a lot with what he's been saying and how he's being approached in the locker room. Didn't he today say something to UEFA or spoke to UEFA or something and said, like, Sporting players aren't quite sure on how to like represent the club and respect the club, and it's his job to like regarding Bruno Fernandes, something just doesn't seem right. It's almost like he's trying too hard once again to kind of like paint a narrative that of how we should feel about him, and some people think that he's like saying all the right things, and from what I gather, a lot of people are like, nah, man, like, seems a little too weird that he, you know what I mean, the leaks, and I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but to me, there's something a little not right there. I don't know if I can 100% like take his word for what he's been saying.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the leaked audio, I'm not even 100%. I don't know about you guys or if you've listened to it or not. I'm not even 100% sure it's him. I mean, they've been talking about it. Has he confirmed? Do you guys know? I don't think he has.
I don't know anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was him.
Yeah. There's times it doesn't really sound like his voice, but of course I don't really know his voice like that. So
who the fuck recorded it?
That's another thing that I want to know. Yeah, exactly. It
seems a little leaky.
Too weird. Yeah.
Too staged.
Yeah, but behind those words, do you guys?
I mean, he basically doubled down on it today when he said that in that interview.
100%. Yeah, that's why
I'm saying, like, it's like everything just seems a little time sensitive, but his words were fine. I mean, I agree with a lot of what he's saying. I do. That's part of what fucking made Bruno Carvalho lose his shit. Like, players don't give a damn. They're there to collect a paycheck and get by.
Yeah.
And that's part of why we are where we are. And that's part of why we go through so many coaches. Not saying that there's, that coaches couldn't have been better and management couldn't have been better, but like a lot of these players are literally there to collect. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, facts. And I mean, so then in that aspect, then how can we possibly fix the situation? Is it solely on bringing through or bleeding through more? I mean, to me, that's one of the solutions. It's bleeding through more youth players and buying less Jesse Rodriguez's, and even though I'm liking his attitude, less Blasi's and shit like that. Especially because, as we can see from especially like for example, Mateus Pereira at West Brom, the academy has the quality. And hopefully the academy has the kids to actually really feel the club. But then on the flip side, I'll play devil's advocate to myself. The players that rescinded against us a few years ago were the academy kids. You know what I mean? Most of them, at least, were the academy kids. So, Nando, I'll pass it off to you. Like, what sort of solution do you see there? Seeing as you also do agree with some of the words you said, that Varandas or that Sporting itself can maybe try to fix the situation and really try to bleed through competitors that understand what it means to play for this club.
Yeah, like Sporting Academy, we would all agree that like not only are we not producing the talent that we used to, okay, so that's a topic in and all of itself, but the fact that we're used to say that the players coming out of Sporting were a whole nother breed, right? They had a whole nother attitude. They weren't guys from Porto, Benfica. We formed them as men, formados como homens, and Steph has talked about that many times on the podcast before. I don't think Sporting does that anymore. How we ourselves as a club is being conveyed. We are a club. We are a losing club. Minus the 5 years of Bruno Carvalho. And granted, we didn't win the campeonato. And I don't care about these taças, bullshit of taças de liga and great, Taça Portugal is nice and all, but it's winning the Taça de liga and winning these kind of cups does not make you a winning club per se. Mentality, approach to it, how we represent the club, how we talk about the club, how we live the club. Accountable. Before that, we struggled a little bit, but we had that, from Paulo Bento and guys that were like a whole nother breed of accountability. And that's all, in my opinion, it's all, gone to waste now. So Sporting has to do some serious soul searching in their academy and how these kids are brought up. But also there's certain things that we just can't change, man. Like kids these days, they see money, they see fame, and they see instant gratification. Sporting is hell of a not an instant gratification club. Like, you are not going to sport. Like, you're not going there and be like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go through the paces, whatever, make it to the lead team, and then get a good opportunity. 1 year, boom, I'm playing for a big club. No, that's not really happening anymore. You're not going there to win titles anymore. You're battling with Porto Benfica even for our modalidades, and that's not even a given anymore. Yeah. So you got to get the ball rolling. We as a club have to figure out how to start winning campeonatos, start showing up and being like the club. Champions League is going on at work. People are watching the game or whatever. The game's going on today, tomorrow. Who plays? Benfica or whatever. And, these people don't know what Sporting is. They don't talk about that. I mean, hell, if anything, they talk about Porto and Benfica. When you start talking about people in Portuguese clubs. And so we gotta change that mentality, and then we gotta hold these kids accountable and start showing them that Sporting is more than just winning immediately. That there's a trajectory, and that we can look at the examples of Ronaldo and Quaresmas and all these other guys who've created and made themselves turn into a hell of a career.
Yeah. No. Agreed. All right. So after the game, of course, Lionel Ponte left. I think we'd all agree it was a great decision. As a draw and 3 losses are more than unacceptable for a team like Sporting. And in came Silas. before going into other names that were mentioned, Christian, thoughts on Silas? I know we kind of mentioned them past podcasts, but again, what are your overall thoughts on Silas?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Aves game better than I've liked any of the games under Pont. I mean, the PSV game wasn't that bad. It was probably the best attacking game he had, but he didn't get any results. So it's pretty amazing to see a guy come in and get a result. I mean, could have been easily a different result on a different day. And this game was kind of weird, and like the fact that the eye test and then looking at the advanced stats after the game, they don't really match up just on what I saw, you know. And then it didn't feel right that they were giving Balassi man of the match. And I mean, he realistically wasn't one of the better players, like as far as like performance and ratings go. Like he won the penalty, I get it, but a lot of that game he was just like a bumbling buffoon, and he completely whiffed on that like great opportunity. It took so long to shoot, and then when he finally shot, he whiffed, and it's painful. Someone tweeted like he looks like he should be playing in the conference. He would. That's a level like that he could ball at, like the lower level English leagues where he originally came from. Like that's kind of his level right now. But I mean, he tries hard. He's super physical. He's kind of just like a athletic specimen, but he's just like too spastic to ever really be that good. But I mean, at the same time, the other guy on loan here, Hesse, hasn't looked good at all. I mean, I haven't really even seen flashes yet. So I mean, between those two reinforcements, you know, leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and also going to the other names mentioned, moving on a bit to the Varandas interview as well. Varandas mentioned Jose Mourinho. He talked to Leonardo Jardim. I think Marco Silva as well. Anyways, really, I think we all agree unrealistic appointments for the time being, right? Especially that Mourinho one.
Even saying that he talked to them is like a cell phone I don't even understand how he doesn't realize it.
What a fucking troll he is.
I'd agree.
He's like, oh, they said, or I think it was Jardim said he wanted to coach a club that could compete for the Champions League. Yeah, it's like, dude, the fact that you're saying that he said that is such a cell phone, bro. Like, yeah. Damn, bro, you talked to Mourinho. That's so sick. He told you to fuck off, dude. That's totally worth sharing.
You know what comes to mind? The more and more that I watched or like read about that damn interview, the more and more that I thought that dude literally knows that he has to appease his followers. And what I mean is his followers, his 81%, the old fucking farts and all that shit. Because if you notice all the things that he said and the way he talked about the club, calling us a club of malucos and like the turmoil, and that like there's, you know, rarely do you hear real fans, quote unquote, group of fans. Like he's going really hard out of his way to continue to paint that narrative, to continue to paint trade. Like, listen, man, those are the Brunistas without having to say that shit. And it's so fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
I feel like he's lost a lot of that. I mean, I wish we could have like a poll, you know, of sample size, because I feel like he's got to have lost some of those people that voted for him originally, or at least.
I honestly don't think he has.
I bet he's at half now. He was at 70, now he's at 50.
I think it might be a bit lower. I think it might be a bit lower, to be honest. Because I mean, one, he didn't win the majority vote as it was.
That's true.
But even more so than that, it's like I mean, for him to get as many votes as he did, and still there's obvious frustration in the stands and stuff like that. I mean, if there were elections tomorrow, I'd put my money on him losing more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think that Benedito would probably come out of nowhere right now if there was a elections and win right away. But okay, more so to the interview and him constantly calling out Teresa.
Dude, he took
fucking hair. Yeah, fucking moron.
He said it like 49 times.
No, bro, he did 109. I watched it last night again.
109? I didn't even see the full video
Jesus
then.
Christ.
Yeah, my girlfriend was sitting beside me, and he's like, "What the fuck is that guy talking about?" And she was getting annoyed just listening to it.
13. Anyways.
Now, Nando.
Sorry, what was that? You cut off a bit.
Like, that shit was wild, bro. No, I'm saying, like, do you remember when, like, somebody tweeted, "Do should have me rolling?" Somebody tweeted, like, you know how Sporting just played in Algarve or whatever, or close to it, and they were like, "How is Sporting gonna come home? Like, are they gonna go through the Aun, which is the highway system there?" And then they showed the video of him being like, "Teresa, nem A1, nem A2, nem A3." That shit fucking had me rolling, bro. Like, he goes through and just goes all the A1s or something. And Teresa's looking at him like, "The fuck are you talking about, bro?"
Yeah. Anyway, is there anything you guys can take from that interview? Any sort of anything that he said that marked you at all, or what's up, Nando? I'll throw that first one up to you.
Just real quick, he's so embarrassing. Like, he's just so embarrassing. And like, I don't know about you guys, but now when I listen to him, like, when you watch a movie or you're watching like a TV show, and then some awkward shit on screen happens, and then you feel embarrassed or you feel awkward as hell watching it. Like, that's how I feel when he talks. Shut the fuck, like, dude, I'm not okay right now with you talking. Like, I have to, like, turn it away, watch something else, and I'm, like, embarrassed, bro. Like, we are, like, that shit's scary. He doesn't have a clue as to what he's talking about. He doesn't have a clue on how to speak. The dude is like a walking troll. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is that glass of air that he took a gulp out of. That's who he is. Like, that shit, like, summarizes him.
Christian, I'll pass the same question to you. Anything that he said that marked you at all, or?
No, not really. I mean, I probably tuned out for like half of it. Wasn't really interesting. I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this point he had avoided doing any sort of like TV event and kind of had to do something, show his face after dropping all those games in a row. We hadn't really heard a peep from him. Just saw him like weirdly sitting in the box every game. So yeah, I mean, I don't really pay mind to anything that he said.
Yeah, Sam. It was honestly a useless interview. He answered nothing really, but at least we got something out of it. We got this. Let me share my screen real quick. Hopefully, I don't get flagged for this. Oh, I should have loaded this before. Sorry, guys. Just a bit of it.
Just pull up with Teresa, like, what the fuck?
Teresa. Anyways, at least we got a soundbite out of it. Anyways, anything else you guys want to say about that interview, mainly, before moving on to the Aves game?
Not really.
No. Yeah. Same. All right. So moving on now, with Silas' first game. The lineup was as follows. We had Renan Ribeiro in net. We had Rosier, Quatsch, Mathieu, and Borja. Bruno Fernandes, Dumbia, Eduardo Henrique, and Vieto on the wings. With Hesse and Bolasie. I actually think this 4-4-2 is a little messed up. I think it was more of a 4-4-3 in my opinion. With Vieto, Hesse on the wings, and Bolasie up top, sort of interchanging with Hesse. But anyways, Christian, what were your overall thoughts of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was better than the other ones, but I mean, so many times like we could have conceded so easily, and yeah, like I kind of touched on it before, like the eye test of this game fares much less favorably than the advanced stats and the total stats really after the game. I like had to make sure they weren't like wrong or from a game from a different season, because it really didn't feel like it. Like we had 15 shots, they had 7. and they had probably 5 opportunities for goal, clear chances out of those 7 chances. So it just felt like they had much better, or more opportunities at least. And they definitely could have scored. I mean, this could have easily. I mean, they hit the post within the first 5 minutes. That was immediate warning shot. They had a couple other ones that were close. They just seemed dangerous off the break. It seems like it feels like we can concede a goal to any team at literally any moment. Our defensive shape and work rate just does not instill confidence. And yeah, I mean, I thought that for me, Borja was a guy that I thought has been underperforming recently, and I thought that he at least played a little bit better today. But, I mean, he still was rated as a 5.1, which is the worst on the team. It felt better to me. Rozier was a 6.0, which is not bad, and I felt like he hasn't really done anything for me yet either. And he's kind of a liability defensively, so he's kind of been a disappointment for me as well. And then the 2 center backs who constantly feel like they've been underperforming for a while. Matthew 6'5", Kawhi 7. Felt like they were worse than that.
Yeah, agreed.
And then Eduardo, I could tell Eduardo was having a pretty good game, and it totally felt like that it was kind of weird to see them start him and Dubia together. So it was just interesting that he played pretty good actually, and he was kind of leading the line offensively, which is something that we haven't really seen him do yet. So yeah, I mean it wasn't bad, and I'm glad that we ended up nabbing it at the end because felt like it wasn't our night.
Yeah. Nando, is also with you. What were your overall thoughts of this game?
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I don't have too much to say about it other than the fact that from what I gathered, and I talked to my dad a little bit about this after the game. Christian just kind of touched up on it. It looks like, if you go back and look at the stats, you'll think the Sporting performed a lot better than what they did. And we it's early. It's Silas' first game. There's not much to say. We won. Institutions, though, a lot better than anything that Ponce did towards the second half of the game. I like bringing in Wendell. I like bringing in Acuna and stuff like that. I think that those were really good moves to kind of help solidify that result. You know what I mean? I like those moves. It made sense. Makes these guys, especially Wendell, you would hope that lights a little bit of a fire under his ass, because I don't think he's been playing good at all for several games now.
Yeah, agreed. Silas also mentioned after the game that he also did those substitutions because they looked fatigued. And even that I liked because, I was tired of, Jorge Jesus, and even we've seen a lot of it under Kaiser, especially towards the end, where he would just stick with a set 11 or stick with his set guys and never really rotate the squad. So even though I was a little scared at first because most of what I've seen from it, at least Eduardo Enrique, hasn't been great this season. But I really didn't mind his performance. He had a pretty good shot I think he had 2 good shots on net that sort of came from nothing just because the team wasn't really running or doing much. And I also like the little confidence Silas gave him. I was watching the press conference. Silas said something like that Wendell was tired, and that since Eduardo was his guy last year, and quote unquote, il sabía que ia render. And I don't know, I kind of just like that. I like that message of confidence that Silas has been trying to push to the team. More so on the performance, what really pissed me off was these guys were sort of walking in transition. These guys, most of them showed that they had really nothing about them. I tweeted it out, and I'm really serious about it. I am not looking forward to having to see Hesse for the rest of the season. I'm already sick of him, and we've just entered October. Yesterday, he was doing back heels to nobody. He can't run. Every through ball that goes to Hesse isn't getting to Hesse. He would try a million fucking tricks around, or he would try tricks when he's surrounded by a million defenders. man, I really hope he improves because this is looking really bad. And aside from that, that's really all I have to say about the game. And that my man of the match at least would be Rosier. I'll ask you two later on who your man of the match is. Just a quick question, Christian, onto the penalty. Clear penalty in your eyes?
Yeah, I think it's a clear penalty.
Yeah.
Balassi kind of flumped his way into the 18 and then like accidentally almost just like ended up in scoring position and just like weirdly kicked it and then got taken out a little bit. The other guys like got him in a headlock as he's going to the ground. I think there's definitely enough contact there for a PK.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, he misses the ball. I only asked because there was kind of a high foot from Balassi, but I mean, yeah, clear penalty.
It's just because he got there first, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, but I'd agree. Anyways, yeah, I guess the only thing else to ask on this question is man of the match, guys. Christian, I'll start with you.
For me, it is probably Eduardo, just because of didn't expect him to play as well as he ended up playing. I mean, obviously a lot to work on, but yeah. I kind of liked what I saw at least. Vieto, I thought was, decent as well. Bruno Fernandes, didn't seem like he was having a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at his stats, it's ridiculous. A goal, 1 shot on target, 3 total, 5 passes for goal scoring chances, 9 passes forward successful, 3 out of 3 successful dribbles, 4 fouls suffered, 13 ball recuperations. I mean, he has an off game. It feels like he's terrible out there, and I mean those are stats 8.0.
Yeah, that really put it into perspective for me at least too. Anyways, Nando, I know you didn't really have a time to watch the game, but from what you've heard, from what you've seen and stats and all that, who would your man of the match be, really?
I like the way Christian just kind of summarized Bruno Fernandes because I did look up a little bit of his stats there. He had a very under-the-radar kind of performance. We just kind of expect him to do his thing now. But I did like Vieto performed pretty well. So, I'd say Bruno Fernandes. Really, nobody really stood out to me, but Bruno Fernandes continues to just do his thing.
Yeah. I found it pretty funny that Balassi ended up getting it, to be honest. Not that he was
second
bad
one.
or anything. The second one, exactly. Yeah, for real.
Seems like
the first one was deserved.
Too rapid of a rate.
Yeah.
First one was deserved. And he still didn't score. He can't score. He hasn't scored yet. He's had so many chances to score. I can't score.
Yeah.
How does he not have a goal yet? I'm just thinking of all the chances he's missed.
Especially, man.
He hit the bar the other game.
At Boavista,
he had like 4 against
Boavista
that he could have scored.
Yeah.
He completely whiffed right in front of the goal.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he runs hard, and he's just a tank. Just like destroys everything in his way.
I seen him get a few silly fouls just because he was just.
Well, they call it in Portugal and England. You can kind of barrel through people at a more aggressive rate and get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyways, that's really all about the game. The game really had nothing about it, to be honest, to really discuss it in length.
Got a result,
Yeah.
That's what matters. We don't play another league game for 3 weeks, so.
Yeah. And the next one is against Guimarães too. So.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the scheduling is totally weird, but yeah, I mean, had to win that one. I think we're in 5th now, 1 point back of 4th.
Yeah.
7 back of Benfica, Porto, and an 8 of Famalicão.
Yep, an 8 of Famalicão. At least, again, like you said, the next league game is in 3 weeks, but it is against Guimarães, so
yeah, we have some time to get our shit together.
At least, so that's at least something to look forward to.
It's interesting now. Also, well, obviously we play on Thursday, in kind of a game that you want to win, a home game against theoretically one of the weaker teams in the group. You've already dropped points in your first game. Kind of a good opportunity, you would think, on paper at least, to get a result and get back to even. Keep yourself in contention in the group. Don't drop the first 2, have 0 points. But yeah, then after that, the next game, I guess, is there's an international break, and then there's the first test of the Portugal game. So the draw for that is next week, and then we play like the weekend of like the 17th for that. So it's like, is he going to rotate the squad? He's kind of had like a long time to think about it. Are you going to play some youngsters and kind of take that time to prep them, for that game? Because, in all likelihood will be against, probably a third or second division team at the best. So it's typically a game you would like to play the youngsters, where the youngster squad rotation typically happens. But just because of the scheduling being so weird, it's I'm curious to see what he does. Like, Pedro Men should probably really play in this game. He should probably start.
I'd agree.
Because he has an opportunity to.
Yeah. Also interesting from the Taça Portugal game you were mentioning, it does come right after a
Europa League
an international break.
Yeah.
The Taça game. So that'll also be interesting to see how he lines up then, and how we'll start playing then as well. But I mean, staying on our next game against Lask. I actually don't know if it's pronounced Lask or if it's Lask. But whatever. Nando, Christian's giving his thoughts. What are your thoughts on these guys and what you expect from the team tomorrow?
Let me readjust my my mic real quick, guys, because you guys should give me a little bit of echo. Give me a second.
I mean, I really haven't.
I definitely hope that I definitely hope. Yeah, can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I mean, like Christian just said, like Bruno Mins. I mean, I'm sorry, Bruno Mins. Pedro Mins. I hope that he gets an opportunity to start. Get some more play time. That's for me is crucial. I really don't know anything about Lask, other than the fact that like we better fucking win, because that's a good place that Silas I think can really kind of start making their Europa League his own. We already have points obviously in the group, but it should come out of that group. And I hope to see Silas kind of really use that. The Taça da Liga games, the Taça Portugal games to kind of start making the team his own identity. Give primarily Pedro Mins an opportunity to show us what he got, since he can't play until at least Christmas time or right after that. And that's pretty much what I hope to see. And a win, man, to be quite honest with you. Simple as that.
Yeah, agreed. And the only thing I really know about Lask I learned today when watching the Real Madrid game was that Club Brugge, who were almost shocked, I guess they shocked the world today, tying 2-2 against Real Madrid, beat them in Champions League qualifying to make it to the Champions League. So, I mean, that kind of shows that they're not a bunch of pushovers like we might think. The Austrian team, I mean, I guess the Austrian Bundesliga, I mean, I'm not trying to compare it to Germany, but it is like a very German. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a very German feel about it. So they might be as relentless as the Germans are. So I guess we'll just wait and see, really. But I don't think Pedro Mins will start, but I hope to see him coming off the bench. I also hope Luis Felipe is the one starting and not Hesse or Vieto or Bolasie as a striker. Simply because he needs to start getting those minutes in, coming back from his injury and starting, and maybe even being sub for Pedro Mins later on. I think would be a bit better for him to get minutes under his legs. But quickly, let's give in our prediction. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win for Sporting. Nando?
I'm gonna say a 1-0 win.
1-0, Christian?
Yeah, the team's not bad. Actually, they it's also worth noting that they did win their first game, so they already have 3 points. So
fair, yeah, true.
Rosenborg, not a bad team. You'd think they're about equal with them. So I mean, it's a decent result from them. They get a home win in match day 1, and they're also just coming off a draw against Red Bull Salzburg, who, as we know, is in the Champions League. Yeah. Played a good game.
Pretty
this
good.
Kid scores like 21 goals in 15 games so far this season. That like 18-year-old they have up top. The Norwegian kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously that's a good side, clearly. And they just tied them. They're in second place in the league behind them. So it's not a bad team. So I think that we win 3-2.
Nice. I was actually supposed to ask this before the prediction, but I'll quickly mention it because I know we'll go more into it with the questions. But Christian, does Silas not having his license and not being able to come onto the field, I guess, worry you at all, or that's not really an issue here? What do you think?
That's not an ideal situation, obviously. So I hope that gets straightened out soon enough, because that is just so classic that is our situation. That this is even a conversation that we're having. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best. You always want your coach, especially a new coach, to be on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think it'll be much of an issue, at least. But anyways, we'll get more into that in a bit, because I know Steph sent in a question about that. Quickly, let's go over our modalidades. So the handball team they lost to, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. Do you guys know how to say it, or Christian, you know how to say it? Savehov? Do you know where they're from, at least? Anyways, they lost to them in the Champions League, but we do have another game against them at home, so hopefully that'll come off better for us there. We also, let's see. Well, we'll talk about the basketball. We beat Overins 74-64 for the Trofeo Stromp, which was our inauguration back into Portuguese basketball. Pretty promising signs. I wasn't able to catch the entire game, but I seen some highlights and I caught a bit of the game. I mean, it's no NBA, right? But we're not bad. We're not bad, to say the least. We also beat them 72-69 in a preseason game. And the let's see, football. The under 23s beat Belenenses Sad 2-1 away from home. Another goal from Pedro Mendes, if I'm not mistaken. Which is always good to see. Again, shocked that he wasn't in the senior team for the league. For female soccer, our B team beat Atlético Clube Portugal 7-1. Still in preseason, which is good. The girls also beat Braga, or was that last week? I guess that was last week, and I'm just remembering something. Shocking. I forget who it was. Remind me if you guys know. The futsal player who made the gesture into the crowd. Sort of gesture that insinuates, a robbery was made. But anyways, tough loss, but the boys will bounce back. Another European title, I should say. Sporting beat Porto in hockey 3-2. Porto only scoring from penalties. They had 2 penalty shots. Yeah, basically that's all you got to say about that. But congratulations to the hockey team. I have a picture here that I took that I really liked of the celebration. And, of course, our 36th European title, club European title, which is great. So that was cool. That was cool to watch. Let's see. What else is there? Judo, natação, rugby, unfortunately. Table min. Yeah, not really else really that I'm trying to remember. Oh, the male team, I didn't even know they played. They won the Torneio de Termas. I believe that is a preseason game. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
I think it is.
Yeah, I believe it is too. They beat Volley Palma 3-1 and then lost to Ismuriz 3-0. And that is about it. So we'll move on to the Twitter questions real quick. We have a few this week. Coming in from Joel Da Silva at JoeLeon_073. What's the top 3 players you've seen play for Sporting? It's a good question. Nando, I'll give that one to you, dude. I can give it to all of us, really.
What's the top 3 players you've ever seen play at Sporting? Is that what the question? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
Shit. That's tough. So if we're going to talk about like, actually put forth some good seasons at Sporting, game by, or then like a Cristiano Ronaldo, who we all know, but he barely did anything for the main team. I'm gonna say João, João Vieira Pinto. I'm gonna talk about Jardel, because those two, like I will forever remember. Like I vividly remember how important they both were to us winning that last title.
For sure.
And then I'll probably say, I really really liked watching Schmeichel play. I know I'm going a little far back, even though he was only there. Detrimental to us ending that 18-year route. To me, probably the biggest signing that Sporting made to get us off that hump. Like, talk about bringing a guy who's won and who knows the culture of winning, and then also do well as Sporting and like solidify that position and kind of help us there.
Fair. Christian, I'll pass the same question to you because this is kind of a fun question. What's your top three?
I probably that I have the most memories of were probably Liedson.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes is definitely one of the best players that's ever played for Sporting in recent memory. And, maybe Nani.
Yeah, I have him in my top three too. Mine would be Liedson, Nani, and I don't know why I liked him. I mean, he was a sick player for us. Rochenbach, bro. My childhood.
Rochenbach was good his first go round.
His second goal when he came from Middlesbrough wasn't that great.
Yeah, his second goal was horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, Anderson Polgo was good on that team. Ricardo was a great goalie.
That was a good defender too. I like
Peter Patrici was a great goalie for a long time.
Of course, yeah. The rat piece of shit. Just kidding.
Dude, William killed it too, dude.
I loved William.
Yeah.
William rescinded, bro. That was heartbreaking.
I know, but he like killed it. Like that dude held down that position.
Yeah, linked to Arsenal every year for like 6 straight years. Facts. Ended up at Betis.
And the same's about to happen to Bruno Fernandes, bro. Linked to United and Tottenham. I guarantee you he's ending up in like, I don't even know, bro. Like some fucking Bayern Leverkusen or some shit like that. Anyways, next question comes in from... Yeah, fucking join fucking João Mario. Anyways, next question comes in from our boy Steph. You can follow him at Steph01Jewel 1906. Oops. And he asks, we definitely need a striker. Who's in your mind? Is Pedro Mendes good enough? Christian, I'll start it off with you.
I think he's definitely good enough to warrant getting more of a shot, which I unfortunately really can't. But I mean, some of these games you have like improvising with strikers. Luis Felipe is getting back to full fitness, but is still not like an elite goal scorer or anything. Hesse, Vieto, Balassi, some of these games I wouldn't mind seeing him up top, especially the ones where he has the opportunity to. So hopefully, really the next 2 games, which is kind of a rare thing, albeit separated by a couple weeks, but he can play tomorrow. And he can play, or Thursday, sorry, not tomorrow. He can play Thursday, or he can play the next TERESA game. So, I mean, in 15 minutes so far this season, I think he's definitely warranted more opportunities.
Yeah, agreed. And really, I think we should only really look for a striker in the summer and try to get like a main guy if Pedro Mendes at least isn't that guy. Anyways, Steph also asks, what is the ANTF attacking? Sorry, why is the ANTF attacking Sporting and Silas? It wasn't an issue when he was at Belenenses. What the fuck? Nando, I'll pass that one off to you. I think it was Varandas, or at least somebody in the administration even said that they're acting anti-Sportingismo. What are your overall thoughts with this sort of attack against Silas?
Man, I think that's just a damn media, man. Just Sporting is always an easy target. These guys don't want to damn say shit when they play or are part of other clubs. They come to Sporting, suddenly they got some shit to say, man. Fuck the guy. I'm not concerned with that one bit, because if you remember back in the day, Paulo Bento, when he was coaching early on in his career, didn't have all his proper curriculum and shit like that. And exactly if they gave him shit about it. But man, that guy he just wants his antenna time. He's got nothing better to do. I roll my eyes at that shit.
Agreed. 100% agreed with you, dude. Anyways, next question comes in from David Claudio at David Strife 35. He asks, what players do you think we must sell in January? Christian, I'll give that one off to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough to say. I definitely think that we need a striker for sure. But as far as players that I'm okay with leaving, or who do I think that we should sell that be mutually beneficial? Potentially Battaglia, maybe.
Yeah.
His value's definitely gone down, but it's worth something. And then, I mean, obviously, potentially maybe Coates, because have the best backup center back that we've had in years. Coates been on the doorstep for a little bit now. I mean, if they want to generate, 12 to 15 real quick, they could probably do that. So, I mean, maybe him. But in terms of that, I mean, I don't really know if we're going to see too many reinforcements or departures in January. I'm not really expecting much, but it'd be nice to have another striker. So,
yeah. And I mean, coming from the disastrous transfer date deadline, I think I'm praying for a quiet January, to be honest. Next question comes in from Casa de Paiva at mpaiva7, our boy Matt. He asks, where do you guys feel Silas could use Vieto to maximize his assets? And what Sporting kit of the past is your favorite? That second part I'll pass off to Christian because I know you're a kit connoisseur. But Nando, what are your thoughts? What do you think Silas would do with Vieto? Should he put him as a striker? Should you keep him out on the left? What are your thoughts?
I think that you use him as a striker in situations that you have to use him as a striker. But I think that playing him a position like he did. Who did we play that we all raved about Vieto's performance a couple of weeks ago? Like his coming out party. They were like, "Oh shit, look at that game."
We played
Portimao.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was away at Portugal, and he killed it. What was he playing there? Like left wing, maybe.
Left wing,
He's playing left wing, yeah.
He's comfortable as hell there. So I would keep him there, and then I would use as a striker before I'll ever push his up there.
Oh yeah.
100%. So you know what I'm saying. So like I'd use that as a secondary position. Like all right, we really need it. Let's throw him up there. But other than that, let his creativity come in from the back, and him with Bruno Fernandes kind of distributing ball would be dope as hell.
Agreed. And just to know, what is your favorite pass kit? Or if do you have
man,
one?
I've got two, dude. I have the one that we wore when we were last champions. I even think it was like a damn
Reebok.
What's that by Reebok. What's that fabric? That's like not Velcro. I don't know, not Velcro. Suede.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever. One that somebody tweeted the other day, late '90s with Seek as a sponsor.
Oh yeah, that one I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one too.
That one kind of sits with me.
Mine is the I don't know what year it is. The one that you always see Mario Jardel wearing. It's like black and like lime green.
It's got like a round collar.
Yeah, I think it's the one that they were trying to base
and
this
real quick,
one on.
I don't. I'm gonna throw in one more. I don't know why, but do you guys remember that? I have it, and it's fucking hideous, but I like it. We had the damn Sapu frog, right? Stamped in the middle of our jersey. You know, I'm talking about that white jersey.
Yeah.
I have it, and every time like I wear it, people are like, "What the fuck is your sponsor, bro?"
Yeah.
Do you remember the black one with the green lion from around that era?
Love that.
It was a Puma.
Yes, that's the one I have right
TMN
there.
was the sponsor.
You see that one right there with the PT in the square?
This one?
The middle, right there by Porto, to the right of Porto's.
Oh, got you.
That damn square is like straight velvet.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I have a goalie shirt from that.
I have no idea what they were thinking, but that thing like is so obnoxious.
They had no technology to like develop sweat wicking aerodynamic type designs.
Freaking suede, man. It's like next thing they're gonna do is corduroy.
Yeah, it's not a good material to make a jersey out of.
This one, I think this one's my favorite.
That TERESA I love that top left TERESA.
Yeah, that one's mine. Anyways, Christian, what was yours?
I really liked. So for away kits that I really liked, I liked the I think it was I guess maybe the first year that we had Puma, 2006-07 or 5-6, the yellow away kit. I like that one a lot. I like that 07-08 away kit as well, the black one with like the green square in the top, and it had like a lion in it. It was always a cool one. And then recently, I really liked last year's home kit with the retro logo on it.
Same. As
far as home kits that we've had, that's a like second that dropped. It's like you need this kit because it's a sick one for sure. And last year when I was in Portugal, my buddy like wanted a sporting jersey and they had just dropped that kit, and I was like, this of all the sporting jerseys for you to like have one of, like this is a classic. So you kind of lucked out while you wanted one, and I really like the Stromp this year as well. That one's really cool.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
I don't mind any of the kits this year. I like all four of them. The white one as well, the white kit. I know maybe people might not like the neon green shorts, but I kind of like them. They kind of complement the kit in like a crazy way with that.
Yeah,
it has the accent on the collar. I personally like those kits and think it's out there without being ridiculous because the jersey's kind of sweet too. So I kind of like the whole look. We haven't worn the white ones yet, have we?
I was just about to say no, we haven't.
I thought they were gonna wear them against Rio Ave, and then they wore the Stromp, and I was like, "Taça da Liga, like it's kind of your chance to
wear the white one." Yeah, exactly. Stromp is more Taça Portugal, but whatever.
You got 4 competitions, you just have like one for the main one, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, this year's away that blue one or greenish, whatever it is, also grew on me. Wasn't a fan in the beginning.
Been seeing going around for a long time with the collars and the small almost like matrix writing and stuff like that. Like we've had some really dope fan renderings that I wish Sporting would turn into reality.
Agreed. We do get honestly a decent say with Macron. I will say.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs get if you're with the big brands, you get a template kit every single year. Macron still has several different designs that they roll out each year, and work with the club to kind of make it cool. Like the collars that we've had, We're a top Macron club, We're a top 3 club that they have. So if we go to Nike, we suddenly drop to the 38th best club that Nike has, and they're not working with you in the same way to have a say and stuff like that. So I mean, obviously, I know that the quality maybe is a bit better. Although I think the Macron kit's decent quality. But that's people want that, but it's more mainstream. I guess it matches more kicks. You're trying to match brands, but I don't really have a rush to go to Adidas or Nike, but I understand one day it might eventually happen. But I kind of like how we've had kits for a long time, Reebok for a while, Puma for a while, Macron for a while. Some clubs change so often that it's like they're wearing 2 years or 3 years ago's jersey, and it's like they've had 2 brands since then. That's also kind of shitty too, because a lot of the smaller Portuguese teams constantly do that. They're having different brands every 2 years, and it's I feel like the quality goes down. You get shittier brands if you do that.
Yeah, agreed. Though it might make more sense for them to just get a quick.
They're just trying to whoever the highest bidder. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine a Lacatoni Sporting jersey if we paired with them for the biggest contract they've ever had, and then we had crazy kits that we had such a say in, Portuguese brand would be crazy.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm with you, dude. I'm not rushing. There was a push not too long ago about getting onto Nike or Adidas or Reebok or something bigger. I'm not in no rush. Macron's been producing, there's more kits that we like than we dislike. And then you're looking at our rivals, they've had some pretty bad kits in the meantime. That brown Porto one was disgusting.
It was so bad.
Because training kit is a pink cow, basically.
Bro, nothing is as bad as Braga's though. That away one.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I
I
almost
mean,
forgot about that.
literally is
That's
probably
horrible.
easily the like out of every jersey of every sport of every team I've seen, like that has to be it.
It's
Yeah,
comically bad.
They haven't played with that either.
Do you remember the when Porto had for like one year had Warrior before New Balance bought them and then they became New Balance?
Mm-hmm.
They had like pink kits with a weird design and then like a black sash across them.
Yeah.
Those
That
are
was
up there.
also...
And they had like camo printed blue camo. Like
I
the navy colored, like the US Navy, like that camo colored jersey from Warrior maybe. Like ratchet, dude.
I wish Braga, if they were gonna, really before going the route that they did, if you know how those jerseys they look like they're trying to mimic abs or whatever, it'd be dope as hell if like players got to choose like, yo, I want to rock a dad bod, like that'd be me. I'd be like, can I get mine in dad bod, please?
That's like a Spanish third division jersey.
Yeah.
Can I get mine with rolls, please?
If Hesse or Luis Felipe played for Braga, maybe. Anyways, last question comes in from Ricardo at Ricardians on Twitter. Was Fernando necessary for the squad? Christian, I'll let you answer that one, bro.
Not really. I mean, he hasn't played at all, so I can't really judge him on that. But I mean, it just seems weird. And he probably won't play for the A team that much. It's totally weird that we bought him or we got him on loan.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Anyways, I guess a quick preview of Taça da Liga. Just we're gonna face Gil Vicente and Portimonense, if I'm not mistaken. I just wanted to know if you guys believe that we'll go through to the next round, seeing as we did lose 2-1 to Rio Ave. Christian, you first. Do you think we're going through, dude?
Tough to say. Only group winner is we've gotten lucky. We've dropped a game in the past. Remember that horrible game to Estoril last year? The game that got Pizzeto fired?
Yeah.
I think we'd won the first one, then we dropped the second one. It was like every team had 3 points in the group, and we kind of, I think we smacked on Feyenoord maybe, and we went through. But I mean, that was a close call. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of been fortunate in terms of that, so I think it's very possible. I mean, we need 6 points. You need 6 points to win the group. If you have 4 or 3, you're not winning the group.
Yeah, agreed. And also, important to note that those 2 games will be away. So go away to Gil Vicente, and then away after the international break, we'll go away to Portimonense.
Yeah, it's not a bad team. I mean, neither are bad to play on the road, at least, as well.
The only silver lining is I think Gil Vicente, because they're fighting relegation, basically Vitor Oliveira will not really care about this competition, but Portimonense might. I think Portimonense won, right? Against
yeah, they did. They won late winner.
Yeah, 2-1 against Gil Vicente. So, 2 must-win games. Nando, do you think we're going to make it through?
Nah, man, I just think it's just too much needs to go our way.
Yeah.
Especially with us playing the other 2 games away, man. We have to win both and probably still need some help, I think.
Mm-hmm. We need to hope Rio Ave doesn't win their next 2 games either. So, Rio Ave's not a pushover either. So yeah, I agree. I also don't think we're gonna go through. But anyways, that was our podcast for today. Finally, a shorter one. We've been planning on doing a shorter one for a while now, so finally that came about. Appreciate that. Anyways,
thank you, Sporting, for getting your shit a little bit better.
Yeah, so that we're not rambling in anger for an hour.
A binge session.
Facts. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on another podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at Sporting160_EN. Follow us on Instagram. We'll eventually get back onto Instagram at Sporting160EN. Of course, we still have merch up on Spreadshirt. Just search Sporting160 or Sporting160EN and you'll find it. And yeah, we bid you adieu until the next one. Let's hope Sporting doesn't do anything stupid until our next podcast.
Drink a gulp of air.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Ciao and viva Sporting.
Viva Sporting.